Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. If you had a bad day and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Oh my God!
Yes, he can't thief me out of the last challenge.
Listen, guys, no matter how easy I make it for Brian, he always ends up losing. I'm such a good wife. I choose things that I know he'll be good at, and he still disappoints. But it's okay, babe. One of these days, you'll be victorious. Blessings, guys. Welcome back to another edition of Stuff from the Cuffs. We are so happy to be here with you for another video.
I'm not happy.
What? Why?
I say it already. I'm not happy.
Well, that's your business. All right, guys. So
big up to the person. It's a Brian. Are you win? Are you win?
The one person out of 100 and odd comments.
Brian, are you win?
All right,
big up
babe.
yourself.
You want me to give you the win?
No.
Then how is he gonna get it?
I'll earn my win.
Okay, but that hasn't been working out.
Worry yourself.
All right, I'll give you the win. Okay?
No, it. No worry yourself.
That okay, babe, sir?
It will come.
All right, it will come, babe. It will come. And talking about coming, thank you so very much for all those persons who have come onto this channel, all our new subscribers,
Pick up on yourself.
all our returning residents.
Tenants in the building.
Big ups. Welcome back to Stuff from the Cuffs. If you're new to the channel, I'm Basilia, and this is my handsome husband, Brian. And of course, you'll see our two girls every now and then, Bria and Bella. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We're happy to have you. Welcome to Stuff from the Cuffs. We want to big up one of our fans. Post notification shout out going to Ali Royal. Big ups to you. Thank you so much for always watching, always commenting.
Regal.
Yes, we appreciate you. Thank you so very much. If you're watching and you're not yet a subscriber, hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure that you turn on your post notifications. So
nobody today, so.
Yes. Turn on those post notifications so you know every time we drop a video. All you have to do is click the bell and then turn on the notifications, go on all and select that so you know every single time we drop a video.
And you don't know, so we're up on the road to 5K.
Yeah.
Guys, first things first, I'm tired.
Hush.
Back to school.
Yes.
Ironing, them call me Iron Man. Put on a ton load of ironing a while ago. Pack up everything for tomorrow. I'm tired.
You're
after
such
12,
a great husband.
After 12, I should have me a shoot video. So if you don't see me look like me I fall asleep, I fear I fall.
Well, guys, this topic, I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm very positive. I'm very sure. And from you see the title in the description, you know it's about to be a little saucy. Yeah. Hey. Why? We're going to be talking about, well, first of all.
Here we go. You ready for it?
No, you take so long. Yes, go ahead.
You ready for it? Sex. The expectations versus the reality.
What that mean?
So the expectations look hot. The reality look...
At sir.
Aight.
Yeah, brides. So, im otabara you say very
marriage,
otabara.
sex life, the expectations
versus the reality.
And it is coming from our views. Of course, and we're keeping it fire, fun, inspirational, real, and educational, all wrapped up in one.
Yep.
And today is a sauce topic, but we really want to drop some nuggets.
Yes.
And we want to shed some light.
On something.
Especially from a Christian perspective. Based on what we heard as young people, what we saw as young people, and what we're experiencing as young people. So,
before we get into that, babe, for those who are new to the channel and they don't know our backstory, you can watch the video or Wedding Day Virgins video. We got married as virgins. I'll put the suggestion right up here. So you can watch that video either before or after, whichever one. Because me know not really leave the video. Go watch that video. So you can watch that after.
We are talking about sex.
Expectations first.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talk about expectations. All right. So let's get into it. So some of the things that we're going to be looking at from a Christian perspective, from a marriage perspective, are some of the things that we were told to expect, some of the things we were cultured to expect, and some of the things that we learned to expect based on what we've observed as young people growing up. All right. So the first one. So we're looking at it from two contexts. We're looking at it from what we've learned from the older persons before us and some of the older persons before. You get me? Yeah. So some of the older persons before and some of the ones who are younger but still older and more experienced than us. All right. So let's look at it from the older perspective first.
The older people.
So one of the main ones was that sex was for procreation. I'm going to tell you about people I know about. The only time that you really know. This is funny. Like every year or every other year, a baby came into the picture. And there were people who cultured us and told us and suggested that this was the only time or the only season
that you should be
should be having sex. So that time when you're thinking about a kid.
I was cultured completely different from Brian. For me, especially with my parents, and for those of you who know me and my parents' relationship, we have a very open relationship in terms of how we talk about things, how we talk about sex, how we talk about marriage. And so I heard that 1 and 2 times growing up, but majority of the time that wasn't the case. But Brian is kind of from the older school in terms of people around him. Yeah, and you can imagine just when you want to have a kid. So it really wasn't for enjoyment. It wasn't for worshiping. Hallelujah.
No, you see,
it was.
Even though
Where
I
did
don't
that
think
come
some people think about it as no form of worship or no form of enjoyment, because one of the prevailing thoughts is that sex is carnal, it is human, and it is really for the flesh, and it's really for pleasure, and you're not supposed to be indulging in those things, married or not.
Yes, I did hear that growing up.
So it's not a matter of, you must have fun with your partner. You must only have, when you're going forth to multiply and bring forth
that's
in
the only time you should think about doing that.
Because if you ever get caught up in the lusts or in the
lust of the flesh.
No, I'm not going to say lust of the flesh because you're married to the person. But if you ever get caught
that's
up in
how
the
they
flesh,
see it, right?
in the flesh, and you're fleshy, and this is what you want, and you're longing for.
Skin
it was
catch a
wrong.
fire.
Yeah, it was wrong.
And one of the things that I have often sought to encourage young people who are looking towards getting married, growing up, and I'm sure you can relate, growing up, sex was always portrayed to be something nasty and something that's a sin. And, in our elders' bid to keep us away from sex outside of marriage, sometimes they painted the picture as it being something that is not of God and something that, belongs down in the pit of hell, right? And so growing up, in my head, sometimes, until I got a little older and I understood things a little better, in my head, me did think that sex was nasty. And so when I came to the realization that, all right, when you get married now, you are legal to have sex, I'm like, okay, so how can we be legal to do something nasty? And so that's one of the things that we need to change in terms of how we culture our young people or culture people on a whole to think that sex is nasty.
Or wrong.
Yeah. And so
in the sinning context.
In the sinning context.
Outside of marriage, based on our beliefs, based on our beliefs, then it is wrong. So one of the other things, and we're going to make it shorter now, guys, is that you don't need to be sexy for your partner. In a Christian perspective, in a church perspective, you never get the feeling that you should put out for your partner. Oh my God! Understand who you are and who I am, and that is it. And especially from the older persons, you got the feeling that it's just, you accept the person for who they are, and however you see them, and what would be. I mean, the reality is that we start to compare what's out there to in the church, and we don't expect people to be as expressive or as wearing as minute
Outgoing.
clothes as possible. But the reality is, you get the feelings a beer. The dressing at home was similar to the dressing on the road.
Yeah, you wear your nightie, your long nightie.
Your nightie and your duster, and that is it. You know, and you get the feeling that even when you're going out with your partner, you don't really put out. You just put on a shirt and a pants.
Yeah.
You know, put out and show up and show out. Like there was probably one older couple that I could have see when I see PDAs.
Yeah.
The whole sexy thing and PDAs. You never get the feeling that you should have this public display of affection. And I mean, there are some people when we're watching this and think that we're talking too much about this thing and that we shouldn't be expressing ourselves this way and we shouldn't be saying this and that, especially in a Christian perspective or a Christian marriage. But the reality
But
is,
that also helps to spice up things
and keep
in the
your
bedroom.
marriage and keep your marriage lasting. We have to understand
And
that.
exciting.
Yeah. The truth is, let's look at. I'm going to put it from a strictly spiritual perspective. Bas can give you that aside if you want. But
You
let's
know
look
me,
at,
I can give you the
let's
other
look at
side.
God and the church, the bride and the groom. Every day, God spices up things for us. The sunset, the sunrise, the flowers. Him send birds to give us this melodious sound, rainbows. He makes sure the sun set have a certain glow and the sunrise have a certain glow. And it appeals to us. Why we not appeal to a partner? Why the man them just get up, pull on a shirt and a pants, and just touch road? Why the man them not put on a nice fitting shirt and buy a nice cologne and a nice pants? And when his wife see him, she say, "Honey, you look good, you know."
Am I nuts? Am I nuts?
But now say we must overdo it and make it
But fix
so
up yourself
that
for your partner.
when the man touch all the road now, every single woman looks after him. Or when the woman touch the road, every single man looks after her. And her clothes tight and skirt well shot. That's how we're saying. We're saying that the effort to be groomed, the effort to do what your wife likes or your husband likes should be taken.
Yeah, and
That's
you
the
know,
reality. We
that
should do it.
helps. That helps because especially when we used to work together and we went to work at different times or when we were working at different places, when him send me a picture and him look well nice, like I cannot wait for him to come home. Right? So that plants a seed in your mind as the wife or the spouse, like, oh, I can't wait until my partner comes home. So spend time.
All of that is mine.
Yes, all
That's a
of
whole
that.
meal.
All of that.
Be careful how we say the meal thing still, because there's a man in a Jamaican culture. But anyway, take it, you understand what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, when it comes on to the bedroom, nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with spicing it up for your partner. If you decide to be a nurse tonight, a flight attendant tomorrow, if you decide to be a baby fresh out of the womb the next day, I mean, whatever you decide to be.
Enough people understand what I
Okay,
just
all right.
Yeah.
If you decide to go in your
it's
birthday
fine.
suit and you just put on a little bow, if you decide to just don your birthday suit with a little bow tie or, you know, spice things up, it keeps the fire burning and it keeps things nice and hot and spicy. Yeah, so the expectations were from the older folks that, you know, you just keep it simple and just do your thing. I mean, my expectations were so high as it relates to dressing up. I spent so much money on lingerie leading up to the wedding. So much money. I had one whole suitcase of lingerie going on our honeymoon. Guys, not one did use. We never need no spice on the honeymoon. No extra spice. We never need no lingerie on the honeymoon night. Right?
That draw for your next one. Yeah? The younger people that tell you, buy this.
Oh,
buy
yes,
that,
Lord, I
use
buy.
this,
I
use
buy.
that. So this is another reality expectation. So we are mix them up. The younger people, the first part was for the older people, it's not for the younger people now. So they would advise her, make sure you buy this, look how that look, make sure you buy it. And me, they would say, yo, I'm done, make sure you buy one of them things there, you know, make sure you...
We say, that's something from China. Some not reach it.
Guys,
But
some of them, don't buy from China. Black male, don't buy from China. You have size problems. But anyway, you have to understand, say, even that, you buy all of these things with the expectation for do this and that and throw off this and rock down the world and mash up the place, and the reality is some of them things I don't need it. They have their place.
yeah.
They have
I
their
mean,
times.
right away,
They have
because
their moments. Even not even just right away. Even as your marriage progresses,
well,
you don't
that's
need it as
true.
much.
I still have some new ones.
Yeah,
That's
you
how
don't
many
need
I
it as
bought.
much.
That's how many I bought.
So
And especially when you just get married, listen. For me, ain't nobody got time. All of this string a song, string the songs. I mean, of course, dress up and nice up and thing, but in my head, I felt like I had to put on one every night. Going into marriage, I felt like every single night you need to dress up. Every single night you need to put on like a heels and play like a music. And it's not always so. It's not always so.
Yep. So the final ones are sex is spontaneous. And that would be coming from the younger people. And from the older persons, sex is planned and reserved for certain segments of the house. So we're the two in one now. So the older people would have cultured us to hear that sex is planned and reserved for certain sections of the house, particularly the bedroom. And the younger people would say to us, sex is supposed to be spontaneous and you can do it everywhere. Expectations. Those are the expectations. So we enter the relationship having the expectations of what older people are saying, as well as what younger persons are saying. And those things play on your mind so till that you're not really sure what to do, when to do it, where to do it. Yeah, you're not really sure. So here's the reality. Sex is a bit of both. Spontaneity and also planned.
Especially when you have kids.
Especially when you get older, you have kids, and you
Yes.
have busy lives, right? So it all depends. What we really want you to take away from all of this is that there are expectations and there are personal realities. Your reality no must be our reality. Our reality no must be your reality. But the truth is, some of these expectations build you up for failure, or it prepare you. It under prepares you so that you're actually under prepared in your marriage and your relationship.
Yeah.
You have to find a middle ground. You have to find what works for you. So there were moments when it's spontaneous. Yeah, you're up on the road and you just can't wait for reach home because you just have to think about the person all day, or you actually make a plan for a getaway for a weekend and you plan how to do this and that. And then the next time you say, listen man, listen. We are going to set the last Friday in the month for at 10 o'clock when the kids are asleep, or not even the kids are asleep, when we've put away all we have to do for the work deadlines and all of that. And at that time, we're going to turn on the TV, we're going to put on a movie, we're going to then drink some nice little juice in the night, eat some nice chocolate and strawberries, and then we are going to go right into it.
Not really like that.
But just as I say, guys.
But
yeah.
what we're saying is sometimes you have to be deliberate, and Brian reminded me that that's a word I love to use. Sometimes you have to be deliberate about it. Sometimes the spontaneity is blocked by kids, so we know what we call them. Sometimes it's blocked by them, right? And so you have to be deliberate, and sometimes we literally have to plan. All right, after them gone out of bed, then we put Bria around there, so push up the door and do it thing, right? So sometimes it has to be planned. So a little bit of spontaneity and planning, especially when you start having kids and when life just really gets busy. When we were without children, the spontaneity was much easier. We never worry about nobody. We just busy about ourselves, right? And so that part was easy. Anywhere, anytime. Not anywhere, but you know what I'm saying. But now that the kids are in the picture, the planning part of it, we kind of have to plan a little bit more.
Yeah. So guys, those are some expectations versus reality. The whole point of this is that just like how you plan everything else in your life, and just like how you have expectations with everything else in your life, you have to be deliberate at times. And you have to just be deliberate to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it is just the spontaneity that's going to make it really great. Sometimes it's the planning that is going to make it really great. Sometimes the fact is expectations are sometimes blown up. You ever see something online where you say I go buy?
And when you buy it, you're like...
Me can tell you about that. Same thing she talk about from China. Listen,
Yes.
I buy one nice little trunks with that trunk.
It could fit.
Point is, my expectation
Versus the
dampened
reality.
by the reality. But that never stopped me. And we can't afford to even make the expectations and the reality when them collide and there's a big world war stop us.
Enjoy your marriage.
You have to be deliberate to enjoy your marriage.
What kind of gesture that?
You know me, nothing like it. It just so because of the topic.
You have to be deliberate about enjoying your marriage and be careful about all these expectations that you go into the marriage with, because it can set you up for failure. And so just keep things in mind that, your expectations aren't always going to match up to the reality. If they do, then that's fine. Even better for you. But a lot of the times our expectations, because of how we've been cultured and socialized, they set us up to fail and to be disappointed. And so we've seen quite a few persons who have been watching the channel and commenting saying that they're getting ready to get married and all of that. These are some things from our perspective. You may not share the same views. You may not have the same experiences, but we're giving you a perspective. This is the Cuffs perspective, and we hope that it will help you in your journeys, in your marriages, in your relationships, because expectations can be dangerous if not handled properly. And so, yeah.
Let me put on the counselor hat to close. In every relationship, we make time and effort to communicate, to enjoy intimacy, to enjoy companionship, which is big in a lot of, especially Christian relationships. The main reason is to enjoy somebody else. Similarly, we must put sex in the picture. We can't enjoy everything about marriage except our sex lives. And for too long, I believe it has been put under the carpet or put on the back burner.
As the last thing to enjoy or to be enjoyed, yeah.
Put it up there.
Right up there.
Put it up there. It may be more important to your partner than you think.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're not it not will last forever. Because the reality is, when you reach certain age and stage, it's going to slow down.
And when life gets busy and when kids come into the picture.
Exactly, it's going to be changed.
Yeah.
But you have to have that base and that basis, because at the highest form of anything in the world, the two becoming one, that's the closest two can become one. In a physical sense.
I feel hot.
Right? You see me, I should be serious and put on my concert and she say that. I feel like we just cut out that clip here.
No.
Right? But let we just enjoy life. Enjoy your marriage. Enjoy your marriage. There's too many things happening out there that will stress us.
Yeah. that was a saucy one tonight, whatever time of day it is that you're watching. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, it has been another beautiful episode inside Stuff from the Cuffs.
I can go on my bed. Tired. I don't mean nothing by that, guys. Literal. Sleep. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe on the journey to 5K. And guys, continue sending us the topics. Continue sending us the suggestions. We're getting them and we're putting them to practice.
And we'll have a Q&A coming up. So feel free to shoot us some questions on Instagram, DM us, leave them in the comments. I've been collecting some already, putting some together that persons have been asking. Remember to go and follow us on Instagram. Over on Instagram, we have a little bit more of our day-to-day lives going on over there. So feel free to go on over, like the page. If you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.
So, yeah, and another thing is that I see something on YouTube talking about questions guys are afraid to ask girls, or girls are afraid to ask guys. I'm more on the Christian people, them send us some stuff, right? So we can do a video where me ask her some of the things and she have to answer, and she asks me some of the things. So, yeah, I could do the Christian version.
All
Big up
right.
yourself.
So, leave
and
us a
the
comment.
marriage version. The marriage and the Christian version, yeah.
That should be interesting.
Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. If you had a bad day and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild. Stuff from the cuffs is here to make things bright. In a world so dark, they bring us some love.